Refactoring, otherwise known as refactoring. It's the process of taking some code that already works, changing it around, modularizing it, changing the way it's written, and ending up with some code that still works the same way. Refactoring is really important because as code bases grow, the requirements on them can often change and evolve over time, and so code that was written to do one thing might end up having to do something completely different. So without constantly refactoring your code, you'll find it very, very difficult to add new features or to modify parts of the code base in the future. As you go along, refactoring is basically the number one way that you can remove what people call tech debt. So in this video, I'm going to give you an exercise that you can do that will help you practice refactoring. Now this exercise is going to take you through the entire life cycle of starting with some working code, breaking that code down and then bringing it back to working code again. And you can do this on any code base in any language. I'm going to be using TypeScript. And the exercise looks a little bit like this. So I've got this function called getValidEmails that's doing a bunch of stuff. And this is the function that we're going to refactor. Now I've got some unit tests for this written in Jest. So in email.test.ts, I'm putting in my getValidEmails function and I'm running a bunch of tests on it. And you can see what it does. You pass in an array of email addresses. Some of these are valid email addresses like alice@example.com. Some of these are invalid, like this one's got a space in it here. And this one's got 2 @ symbols. So our unit test is saying run the getValidEmails on this data and make sure the result is just these valid email addresses here. So the first step to refactoring is to make sure the current version of the code works and to make sure that you have a way to check that it works. So our way is going to be by running this test. So if I go over to the terminal and do npm run test, that will run our Jest test. Just wait for that to run and you can see that it's one test suite has passed, so that code actually works. So now what we're going to do is go back into this code, break it, pull a bunch of stuff out, refactoring it so it's much easier to read, and then at the very end we'll make sure that test works again. So what I'm going to do is put the original version of this underneath like this, and we'll zoom out a little bit so you can see it. This is the original version of our getValidEmails code, and we're going to break out this functionality into smaller pieces of functionality that are going to do the exact same thing. So you can see what this is doing is it's creating a results array, it's looping through the data that gets passed in, it's pulling the email address out of that item from the array, and then it's doing some basic email validation. So it's checking that it's got an @ symbol in it, it's checking that it doesn't have a spacebar in it, and then it's doing a little bit of regex validation as well. And then if that passes, then it adds a trimmed version of that in lowercase into the results and then it returns the results. So this is quite complicated. It's not particularly easy to read. I've had to put comments in here to make it even vaguely easy to read. And this is what we're going to start refactoring. So what we're going to do is create a new file here called module.ts. One thing to try and do when you're refactoring is think about how you can modularize parts of your code. This function here, getValidEmails, is fairly reusable. It's a pure function, but there's functionality inside this that we might want to use elsewhere. So I'll create a new function file called module.ts, and we create some functions in here that are going to be reusable parts of this one. So we'll create extract emails, which is going to take in a list of strings, and it's going to turn the list filtered by this first part here. So we're going to do this basic email abstraction by looking for @ symbols and spacebars and things like that. And I'm putting this on new lines just so it's easier to read, but basically this is the same code as we've got below. So we'll return any email where all of those pass. And that's it. That's all our extract email function is going to do, is it's going to run these 3 lines of code on our list. And that's a nice reusable function that extracts things that look like email addresses. The next reusable function we can create will be called validate email. And this is going to take in one of the items that was returned by this, and it's going to actually validate it with regex. So we'll take in an email address as a string and we'll return true or false. We'll paste the regex from below, so it's exactly the same regex. And this function is just going to read regex.test with that email address and return true or false. So these 2 functions are going to be the 2 functions that validate whether this is a valid email address. But importantly, we've now split them out into 2 independent reusable functions. So if I wanted to reuse this regex somewhere else in my code, I can just call validate email. And that's not possible down here. If I wanted to reuse this regex, there's no way to reuse it in this bottom function. So we've got these 2 functions at the top here. Lastly, we're going to create a function called format email. And that's going to do the trimming and the 2 lowercase at the end. So that's going to take in an email string, it's going to turn email.trim and then 2 lowercase. So these 3 functions now make up the 3 pieces of functionality, the transformations that our main function does. So next thing to do is create a new version of this getValidEmails function. I've called it refactored.ts. And it's going to be called, we're going to import the functions that we've just generated from our module. So we're importing extract emails, validate emails, and format email. I'll put this down at the bottom so you can see what those are. And then in here, we're going to create a new version of our get valid emails function that's going to have the exact same signature as the original. And that's important for the tests. It needs to have the same public signature. And that's going to do extract emails by passing the data. And then it's going to do extracted.filter, and we're going to use the regex function. So filter by valid email, and then map it using our format email function. So there we go. So this get valid emails is the same function signature as the original get valid emails, but it's now a much cleaner version of that function. Because we've refactored these pieces of functionality into individual functions in our modules.ts, then we've been able to give them nice descriptive names. So you can read down get valid emails now, and you can say, okay, what's this function doing? Well, the first thing it's doing is extracting the emails from that data, and then it's returning the extracted emails, and it's filtering out anything that isn't a valid email, and then it's mapping them to a formatted version. So that kind of tells a story about what this function is doing. It's extracting some emails, and then it's filtering out the invalid ones, and then it's mapping them to the final emails. And that's basically exactly what this is doing, but this function is a little bit horrible to read, and it doesn't really tell a story. So we haven't changed any of the actual functionality, we haven't changed any of the code here, we've just made it a lot more readable, and we've also made it a lot more reusable with this module.ts. So to make sure this works, let's head back over to our email test, and where we were getting get valid emails from original, I'll change that to be refactored. So now the get valid emails function is going to be the refactored version, and everything else in this test is exactly the same. So I'll do npm run test on that again, and that should pass just like it was before. There we go. So the test is still passing with the refactored version. So we know that this version of the function works the same way the old one did, at least for this test case. But now we've got so much more that makes it both readable and reusable. So this is generally the kind of flow that you want to go through when you're refactoring code. You start with some working code, you make sure you've got a way to check that it works, maybe by running a unit test, and then you think, how can we take this code and split it out into things that are reusable? And then once we've got things that are reusable, name them properly so that you can tell when you put them back into your original code, you can tell what the function is actually doing. This function here is really just reading like reading a piece of text, and that's how a really well-documented function should be. Reading down a function should be like reading down a piece of text or a story. You should be able to know what each step in that function is doing, and if it's a very complicated function, moving into smaller pieces of units can help. So try this on one of your functions. If you've got a function that's doing more than one thing, remember there's a thing called the single responsibility principle. It's generally a good idea that every function or unit of your code does one thing. So if you've got a function somewhere in your code base that isn't following the single responsibility principle, maybe it's log into a console and then querying a database and then doing some validation and doing loads of other stuff. See if you can refactor that so that you merge those single responsibilities into individual items or individual functions that each have a single responsibility, and then you can bring them back into your main function but make it in a much more readable way. So that's the exercise. I hope you found this useful. If you've got any comments, pop them in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel here on YouTube.